Let's learn what's the difference between each block and a block state. How can we add our own properties on a block and what is the difference there? Before we start talking with code, I prefer to have a dedicated theoretical video about it. Hello everyone, this is Ali Reza. Welcome to the Mentor Code Lab. Normally, when you have a block, it is a single pattern inside your code. What does it mean? It means that we have only one field that is saving the block. And that field is where you are registering that block inside the class, inside your mod. Basically, we have a singleton. What is a singleton? Well, there are tons of videos out there about singleton pattern coding. Basically, wherever you are calling instance of a code, you are using a singleton, means that a class exists with only one instance in the whole program. In other words, when we are saying that we have a block of Citrin, that block is the class registration of Citrin in our mod. For vanilla, these are sitting inside blocks class, isn't it? We are saying blocks.graywool, for example. That is the block. However, each time we are putting a block inside the word, we are creating a block state. Block states are instances of the block class that sit inside the word. So they are copies of the block in the word. It means that they are saved by the word. So whenever the word is being saved, it saves the data about block states, not the blocks, but block states, meaning that the word is saving the information about copies of the block that exist in itself. Also, the block state can be changed by the word. That means that each word can change any single copies of any block to another copy of another block. And each block state can have block properties. Now, this is the interesting part. When you right-click a redstone ore, what happens? It lights up and it plays particles. Now, you have a vein. 5 different redstone blocks are sitting side by side. You activate one, and only that one will lit up and play the particles. Others will be off. Each one of these has properties, and when you are right-clicking one of them, you are changing the properties on that single block state in the word. And we will talk about these block properties in a few minutes. Just wait till then. Try to understand this base concept. In the world, any block that you see is actually a block state, not the block. As player, we always talk about block. You know, dirt block, stone block, redstone lamp block. But as programmer, we should know that each one of them that sits inside the word actually is a block state. Now, each copy in the word can have different property values. As I said, one is light and up, the others are off. Okay, if we understood this slide, we can move to the other one, block state properties. Any block state can have some properties. Now, there are few important things. The first one is that a block property always has a value and can't be null. For example, if I put an integer as a property on a block state, by default it has the value of 0. And any one of the properties that we put on the block state should have a value. They can't be null. So this has another meaning. We won't have null point exceptions because of block states. Never ever. Okay, a block can have as many different properties as you need. There is no limitation there. You can have 3 different integers with 3 different names. We can have integers, booleans, and other type of properties on ourselves, like direction. But in some special cases, like direction, it doesn't make sense to have 2 or 3 different directions. A block is looking toward a special direction. If you need to have a separate direction property for your own personal usage, yes, you can add it. And these properties on block states are used for different things. Think about a redstone lamp. We have a property. It's a boolean called lit. Now we use this lit property to tweak the JSON file. And in the JSON file, we are checking that, hey, are you true or false on the lit? If lit is equals false, we are using one texture. If the lit is equals true, we are using another texture. Basically, this is why you have JSONs under block states. So based on these properties, we can differentiate the models on different conditions. Also, we can handle logical behaviors inside the block, or if the block has a block entity, we will talk about it later, we can retrieve the block state and retrieve the property from the block state and do logical behaviors on that block entity. We can retrieve the properties of any block state in the world and make decisions against different conditions and different values based on them. And this is how comparators work. Now, how to store data in a block? The first step is to define a property inside the block. So the block now should have a custom class for itself. And in the class definition, we will add a property definition. Then we have to append the property inside that class, and there is a method for that. Third, at any time in any place we can get the property value, and at any time in any place, if we need, we can change the property value. Okay, let's change the block states. We have a redstone lamp that is off. How can we change it to turn on? Here is a single line of code, and it's a cheat code. We get the world, and on the world we have the method called setBlockState. The first parameter is the position, the second parameter is a state, and the third parameter is something else. As you see, as the first parameter, we are sending in a block pose. This block pose is the position of the block that we want to change the state on it. So we send in a block pose to retrieve a block state, and inside this block state, as the second parameter, we change some value. So we say, hey, the state, change the property with this value. So it is a pair of property value method called there. If you take note, here is the property, state.with property value. And finally, as the third parameter, we send in an update notify flag. Now this one, we will take a look at it when we go back into the coding in the next video, because we may change the state of a block and we don't want to inform the neighbors about it for whatever reason. And we can notify just the neighbors, we can notify everything in the world, and there are different flags here that we can use. As you see in this example, we are using notify all flag as the last parameter. And that is exactly how you can change the block state. Now the fun part is that word.setBlockState can also change the block type. So the second parameter is the state, and that is where we are changing things. We can change the state properties as we are showing here for the same block state. Or alternatively, we can create a new block state as a default state of a new block type. For example, I can change a redstone lamp to become air just with this single line of code, word.setBlockState at the position. Now we get the default state of block air and notify all. Immediately the redstone lamp will vanish and it will become air. We will take a look at these examples later by code. In this video, I just wanted to tell you about the theory behind it, because I will ask you now to sit back and watch this video 2 or 3 times in a row. It will take half an hour, and let the concept sink in, because block states and later down the road block entities are really important things to understand. If you like these videos, please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button and turn on that bell so that when I publish a new video, you will get informed. Have fun everyone. Bye.